down to the busy nature of Sunday, because Sundays are busy for us. I mean, obviously. And so when you go to do Vlogmas, you're like, oh man, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. And now, we've got Crystal is cooking in the kitchen. She's doing eggs. And we have a light out in the dining room. What? You're not doing eggs? What? We don't have enough eggs. What? Oh, we need eggs. Hey, welcome to Vlogmas 2021. This is episode 5 on a Sunday night. Sunday night for Carolyn and myself on any given Sunday night. Pretty exhausting. I mean, listen, we love it. It's what we do. We have Sunday night service after Sunday morning service, and then that night, we don't typically do Vlogmas all year because that would be weird. Hello, Juan Thomas is in the house. First, Juan Thomas can say first and actually mean it on YouTube. Remember when first was a thing? Do you remember that at all, Carolyn? Like if you were the first one to comment, you put first. Remember that? Back in the day? So Juan Thomas can say first and mean it. Yeah, but today was special. Very different. Because today we had our candlelight, or tonight we had our candlelight service. Our children did their thing this morning. They were awesome. And then tonight, Junior Foreman says, all right, I figured it out. We got a message. We got a message from Junior Foreman earlier today. And it was like, hey, what am I doing wrong about the Vlogmas? Because he couldn't find the Vlogmas page or whatever. So now Junior Foreman here in the chat room, he has found it. So welcome, Junior. Hey, it's always Junior comments on a lot of our stuff. So I'm always glad to see him. Gary Millwood says, what up, Bill and Carolyn? So Juan is like now entering the hashtag first. I'll tell you about some new interesting slang that Carolyn and I are making up that we want to other people to join in. And we'll talk about that later. I'm serious. We have new slang. Remember that? We're talking about today.
Oh yeah. My goodness.
And so we're going to talk about it. Brent G is back after being under the weather. I told you.
Oh my goodness.
After being under the weather, Brent G is back in the house. Brent G is our she is our West Virginia expert who no longer lives in West Virginia. She lives in South Carolina, Crystal, wonderful place. But she is from the Mountain State originally, up there near close to Pittsburgh, which is kind of cool. I wanted to go to Pittsburgh with you this year and go see a game. And we were going to do a video. Remember where she's from? They're in West Virginia. We had it planned out. Yes. And then hashtag life happened, and we weren't able to do that. Life definitely happened. Anyway, we had a great day today. The children did their thing this Sunday morning. Then tonight, we had some amazing the candlelight service was amazing. Praise team did awesome. Carolyn, it's great. It's phenomenal. Carolyn she's our praise team pastor. She did an amazing job. But they're awesome. I mean, they're just wonderful. They're wonderful people. We love them so much. And I don't want to drag them on air. I think we have one. I think Jessica's wanting to interview me. That's what she said. I want to interview you. I'm going to come up with some questions. I said, okay, Jessica, that's fine. She's a nice person, though. You guys will love her. Reggie says, much better. Thank you. Yesterday was rough. Some kind of stomach thing she was explaining. But it's always good when you come out the other side. Of course, you don't say that kind of after you've had a stomach virus. It's kind of bad, right? Yeah, it's probably not coloring well. 'Tis the season to have, Christmas programs at the church, right? Am I right? And you have good stuff, and it's a good time
to the kids this morning.
The kids did great, too.
That was a lot of fun.
Justin Thornton, he played trumpet on here last year for Vlogmas. He's in charge of the kids. He's not in charge of our children's program. That's actually Shelly. But Justin, he kind of does. He and Annabelle, they kind of do
the children's Christmas program.
The children's Christmas program, and then of course Jessica is a children's minister as well, and she did an amazing job. She actually played a character today. It was hilarious.
Oh, she did a great job.
She did a great job.
The Noah's Ark.
It was awesome. So good. So Crystal is now done with her. She's back in her domain, back in her room. Gary said Brent had that too. Oh, wait, is it going around? And I'm not talking about the big O. I'm not, but there may be a stomach virus thing happening. It's developing because it started down in South Carolina with Brent and it's moving north. Gary Millwood said, Brent, I had it. Oh, wait, I already said that one. Jessica Harris says, hee, thank you. But yeah, so Carolyn and I came up with new slang. All right. So hear me out on this. Greater than, get it? Greater than, or is it greater than if you're looking from this way? I think we tried to work this out today. Is that greater than? Because you have greater than and then less than, right?
Yes, that's right.
So
your right hand was less than.
Right. Okay. So then you say it's something like this. If somebody does something great, wonderful, it's like greater than. Get it? Like greater than. Right? Come on, help me out here. It's awesome. Greater than.
It was hysterical in the cars.
And
then you started going into oh gosh.
Well, because
the quotation.
Well, what it is you look at slang from an algebraic standpoint. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Isn't that what the order of operations, right?
Didn't you say something like peace signs can become a new thing?
Well, no, it's like this, greater than, less than. But then you have watch. Remember what this used to be quotation? Not anymore. These are exponents. See, so if somebody like says something, you're wanting to say yeah, and then some exponents, exponential. Like how are things going, man? Is the business growing? Exponentially. Get it? Are you following? Yeah. So greater than, less than. Somebody like you're trying to talk slang, you're trying to talk them down. You'd be like, you are less than, greater than, quotation mark. I haven't figured out like what we would need like brackets for yet, because if we're doing the algebra thing, we need one of these. Because it's what is it? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. No, wait a minute.
It's been a hot minute.
What is order? It's parentheses, exponents. Yeah, something like that. I used to know that stuff a long time ago. Jessica Harris says, I was supposed to be Einstein.
It was adorable.
Me too. But then genetics. No, I'm kidding. Juan Thomas says, watch out for the sinus infection. It lasts around 4 weeks. Carol and I we were both under the weather. Mine lasted 3 days.
You got me sick
and I got Carolyn sick, and I was sick 3 days. Nose, cough, little cough, not a big cough, little cough, nose. On the 4th day, it was over. As fast as it came, it was gone. And I was like, wow, it's over. Well, and then Carolyn got sick. Like while I was sick, she got sick. And I said, look,
from Pigeon Forge and you got me sick.
And she was sick. And I said, look, don't worry about this, Carolyn. In 3 days, it's over, because mine was over in 3 days. Hers lasted like 7.
Mine lingered.
And it lingered and lingered. Do you have to let it linger?
Oh, don't even.
Greater than. That's what I'm talking about. Watch out for the sinus infection. Yeah, Sunday night. So anyway, Sunday nights are rough. Sunday nights are very rough anyway, but today is especially rough. But it's for good reasons. I had a great turnout tonight. We had a great turn for a small church like ours, a growing church. I don't like to say small church, a growing church. And so, yeah, we had a great turnout tonight. We had a great turnout this morning. Had a great crowd this morning. We didn't talk about that, but we had a fantastic crowd this morning. And so praise God. Things are great. Bridgie said
people like seeing their kiddos.
They like seeing their kiddos. Absolutely. It's good to see their kiddos in church, learning stuff, learning about God. It's great. Bridgie says, good song. Do you have to let it linger? Do you? Do you? Do you have to let it linger? Do you? Bless her heart. Isn't she the one she's passed away recently from the Cranberries? I think her lead singer. I think so. Somebody Google that.
I'll have to Google it in a second. Hold on.
Carolyn has left her post as my Jamie. She's not in her Jamie position right now. We're not having a whole lot of people sign on tonight. They're like, I don't know about this tonight. This is kind of crazy. It's Sunday. Sunday nights there are times where Sunday nights are rocking, where people are just lining up and it's 10, 15, 20 people here. And then there are those nights where it's like, no, man, I can't do it. It's Sunday night. I just can't. But you know what? You got nothing to do. There's nothing going on. You might as well stick around and talk. And so that's what are your Sundays look like? Are they easy like Sunday morning? I always wanted to say it because I've been in church my whole life, and my dad was a minister and his dad was a minister. And that song, Easy Like Sunday Morning, never applied to my life. Sunday mornings were never easy. They weren't. I mean, you want to be in church. You're glad to be in church, but they were never easy. Easy like Sunday morning. For who? Wasn't my family. So I never could identify with that song. It was like, I don't get this song. This song makes no sense to me.
Oh gosh, that's awful. She did pass away from alcohol and toxicity.
Yeah, I thought I'd heard somewhere.
Yeah.
I thought I heard somewhere she passed away. I hate to hear that. I mean, even though, let's be honest, her music, generally speaking, was depressing. Be honest. I'm just saying. I'm not criticizing her. I'm just saying her music was kind of depressing. Lots of screaming in her songs. We're going back here. Nobody's going to jump in on that one. We're struggling. Gary says, Sundays are busy, but wonderful. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those where you're glad when it's over, or not when it's over, but you're glad you did everything you're supposed to do when it's over. You're like, oh, I'm glad that went well. I'm glad this went well, but hey, Sundays are tough. You got to get up in the morning. Carolyn does this thing. Carolyn doesn't like cook breakfast every morning or anything like that, but on Sundays, She cooks me bacon.
Just for you, baby.
Just for me.
Just for you, baby.
And I don't have to share it either. I think I had to share it this morning because you needed to eat too.
Well, I knew it was going to be a long day.
Junior Foreman says, I got my Baptist nap this afternoon. And, you know, I don't think the Baptists have a monopoly on Sunday naps, but they probably should. They probably should. Because we Pentecostals, man, we work out in church, you know, and you're spent. You know, you're just kind of spent after Sunday morning. And then in the Sunday night, you're like, okay, I got to loosen up again. I'm telling you, some Pentecostal churches, you need to stretch before service. You need to stretch out because, you know, you might pull a muscle. My Baptist nap. I'm going to call it that. I thought a Baptist nap was when you sleep in church. No.
Oh, my
Nobody? Okay.
Oh,
A little interdenominational humor there. Church we're actually from was sort of a hybrid between a charismatic church and a Southern Baptist church. Abba's house down in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And some looking here, we've got some great photos. I'll try to share these photos with you if I can get some permissions. Did the screen blink out here just a second ago? If it did, let me know. But
I'm sorry.
I think regardless as if somebody is in church or not, Sunday afternoon naps just happen. It's something about Sunday. Maybe it's because it's the seventh day. Sort of. Actually, the 7 days on Saturday. It is. I mean, technically, because Sunday's the first day of the week. So, right? Isn't that how it works, I think? Right? Maybe. Don't go there, Gary Millwood said. Don't even go there. Ooh, no, he didn't. He went there. It's funny. You get people that agree on so many different things. And I always found this hilarious. But nobody will fight harder than like two denominations that almost believe everything identical, you know, and maybe they're hung up on a couple of things and they'll fight like cats and dogs between them. Yeah, it's hilarious. And I've never understood that. Never understood that in my life. It's like, can't we all get along? I think, you know, the bottom line is that as time goes on, I'm finding church more and more precious. I totally understand why. I know a lot of churches don't do Sunday nights anymore, but we do. And we're not stopping anytime soon. It's precious to be together. It's important to be together. Why are we all in here right now? There's 6 people in here. There's between 6 and 12 people because it really depends on what the numbers charge it, because you don't always get an accurate representation. You find out the next day. Like last night we were way down, but we've still had like 45 people watch, I think an average of 5 to 7 minutes, which means you got a lot of people who check in and check out, you know. But, you know, people, they crave connection. People want to be together. And what better place to be than in the house of God, worshiping together. It's wonderful. And it's, you know, you talk, you have fun, you laugh a lot. Get back in church, people. If you're not in church, get back in church. Don't let YouTube substitute for church or Facebook substitute for church. Get back in there. So, and our numbers at Ray of Hope, not bad, considering we're sort of post-original pandemic going into phase 3. Omicron Nation. It's a great name, though. I love the marketing behind this campaign. It's fantastic. You guys are just talking my leg off tonight. We're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have some more interaction here. Come on now. The Christmas tree is doing a little better today. It's doing a little better. Jessica says, hey, the free food helps. Well, we don't do free food every Sunday. Well, do we?
She used to, the morning thing, and when COVID happened.
COVID, we stopped that. Yeah, we used to do the breakfast thing in the morning. Gary Millwood said, church is a hard thing not to argue about. Love to all. We love you, Gary. We love you. Yeah, I don't like it's silly to sit and argue about church. It's like, my goodness, go to church. There you go. There's a good idea. What a novel concept. Carol and I are on hiatus from traveling right now and doing what we do. Normally, this would be a great time for us, the next 2 weeks until Christmas. But the truck. I have people now that are helping me look for transmission stuff. Like they're looking for me a transmission, pricing better, less expensive transmissions. Because $5,000 is a lot of money. That's a lot of YouTube money. That's a lot of YouTube money. A lot of YouTube money. And like, you know, trying to get a better deal. But that has grounded us at this point in our juncture for our YouTubeage and our traveling, because we're just simply not able to do anything right now until the truck is back in action. And the places we go, we have to be in the truck. It's just a better situation. I keep wanting to change the seats in the truck because the seats are not comfortable at all, but we both adore that truck. It's got heart. It's got determination. It's a good athlete. Wait a minute. Am I talking about football again? By the way, go Big Blue. Michigan won last night. 45-3. They spanked Iowa. They embarrassed Iowa. And here's the thing about the Big Ten. If you're an Iowa fan or know an Iowa fan, first of all, give them a big hug. They've had a bad night. And as a Michigan fan, I've had a lot of those. That's why I almost stopped watching football because of the University of Michigan, because they would make me so mad. If I could have signed a petition to get rid of Jim Harbaugh, I would have, because I commented on every sports YouTube page about how I wanted Jim Harbaugh gone. And then Michigan wins the Big Ten. So now I'm going to have you guys probably won't want to watch this. I don't know. But I'm actually going to have a video apologizing for how I've mistreated Jim Harbaugh. Because, look, man, the guy took a pay cut to stay at Michigan. You didn't know this, Carolyn. He's given away all of his bonus money in the postseason here, because he gets bonuses for his wins and stuff like that. He's given it all the way to the Teachers Relief Fund, who maybe didn't get paid because of COVID or were laid off, and they have a fund. And so that's in the millions, plural of dollars. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now I've turned back into a Jim Harbaugh fan. It's hard to say fan on that one, but he's won the Big Ten. Gary Millwood says, "Oh, I got that one already." Hey, Violet Johnson is in the house. Mom is in the house. Mom is in the chat. Even Bryn knows Mom. Baptist Snaps, she said spiritual. It's very spiritual. Must happen. Very spiritual. Mom is in the house. Mom, we were talking about you last night, and you came up in conversation because we were talking about your obsession, if you will, with Elvis. We were talking about how we've had to get you counseling, and that we're talking about medication for your obsession with Elvis. That how much, no matter what I put on YouTube, you'll say, "But have you thought about Elvis?" And it was funny. It was actually all very funny. I always get to see Mom in here. I did watch a documentary a few days ago about Elvis, a short documentary about, did he die of a drug overdose, which would make sense to me, or did somebody have him killed? And there was kind of some misleading headlines there, because a part of the headlines was Elvis, did somebody have him killed? A part of that was, you got to check this out. It wasn't that maybe somebody killed him in a way that they slipped him a drug or something. It was maybe, Carolyn, that it was his doctor. Because they overprescribed. They said that they had, the last 6 or 7 months of his life, he had over 5,000 pills prescribed to him, which is like an average of 23 pills a day. 23 pills is a lot of money, or a lot of pills. And that's not blood pressure medicine, folks. Mm-hmm. Bryn G, mothers are very important and must come up in conversation. Amen. That's exactly right.
Juan Thomas. Who
is the Elvis guy? I think Juan Thomas wants to stir trouble tonight. I can feel it. Juan Thomas is like,
these are the CIA agents.
Well, you got the CIA agents is always going to stir the trouble, because Mom defends Elvis. I think Mom, I don't know. Mom, do you like Priscilla? Because Priscilla is a controversial. Some people think she's a heroine because, her and Elvis are together. She loved Elvis, but she, second wave feminism hit, and she jumped up and said, "I'm out of here. I'm leaving Elvis. I'm not putting up with this anymore." So people have applauded her for that, but she kept his last name. Just saying. And you got money. And you got Lisa Marie, that's Elvis's daughter. That's Elvis's daughter with Priscilla, right? And she has her own career. I think they're both Scientologists, which is kind of weird too. If you say Scientology 3 times, one shows up.
Oh my gosh.
So Violet Johnson says no, but I don't know no to what. You put no there because I've said a lot since I've asked questions. Let's see, who is this Elvis guy? One fact, and she just says Bieber. I don't know the Presley name. But yeah, Priscilla is still called Priscilla Presley, isn't she? Or is that just what people say in reference to Priscilla? Because there are so many Priscillas out there. I don't know. It's hard to say anymore. And we all know that he faked his death. He didn't even look like himself. The documentaries where he's on the stage, and it's like his last series of performances. That was something Priscilla said. She said that she thinks Elvis committed suicide. that
She does still keep his name, Priscilla Ann Presley.
Priscilla Ann Presley.
Yep.
She said, Priscilla said that she thought Elvis had tried to kill himself because he had told his band goodbye. Like he had introduced all of them in a different way than he ever had before. He held the crowd up at his last performance for like 30 extra minutes introducing people. It was almost like he was saying goodbye and giving him honor one more time. Elvis did not have level of any toxic drug. Okay, I don't know what to do with that one. Boy, that's weird. So maybe he was murdered. I don't know. Juan says, I'm a George Harrison fan. That is my phone. You get past that. So George Harrison. Okay, now Juan, we've been friends a long time. So we got to talk about this because George Harrison is like, I don't know. Oh, he's whiny. He's whiny. He did. If you watch that documentary, he's whiny, and it's kind of crazy. You know, if you could let her know that what we're doing and that and just let you know what's going on. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Dr. King and Dr. Nick, what really happened? Okay, I'll check that one out. So George Harrison, it's and he's too psychedelic for me. I don't know. He did usher the Beatles into a new era, they say, but he just seems whiny to me. Because you got Paul and John, they're writing all the music. They're awesome. And then you get George, who gets a little too uppity. Come on now, you got to watch that documentary on Disney Plus. I'm telling you, because you can see George Harris getting mad. That's what Harrison. George Harrison gets mad in the video. He starts getting upset because, well, they're making fun of him. John and Paul are kind of making fun of him. And they've been together for like 10, 12 years at that point. I don't know. I get George Harrison's frustration. You know, I get it. But at the same time, man, you don't mess with something good that's going. Mom steps in. Elvis, I told you guys, if we start talking about Elvis, Mom appears. And I told you, and watch, she knows what she's doing. Elvis had long-term, since Army days, use of uppers and downers, but did not die of OD. But you said not a Beatles fan, just saying. Variety is here. Welcome, Variety. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the good time. Right now, we're currently on George Harrison of the Beatles, Elvis Presley, and Bigfoot. Just go with it. Violet says, or Mom says, get the vax. Juan says he was so good with playing and writing. And playing was so good. Bridgie says, y'all better leave Elvis alone. Miss Violet will protect him at every turn. She will indeed. She would sell me at an auction for 5 minutes at an Elvis concert. She's talked about it. She's prayed about it. And when I was growing up, though, Carolyn, she was not a huge fan of Elvis. I don't remember her talking about Elvis much.
She said, indeed, I will.
Did you contact and see what's up? Okay. And so that's the thing. When you meet a diehard Elvis fan, they are diehard Elvis fans. I'm not going to defend somebody that I like in music. I'm not going to defend him. Somebody I like, I'm like, oh, what? But an Elvis fan would be like, man, I'm coming at you. Right Entertainment says Elvis was abducted by Bigfoot. Confirmed. No, he wasn't. It's abducted by aliens. Get it right. Now, it may have been a Bigfoot alien from Mars, but that is a conspiracy. Let's stick to the facts right now. Okay. Bridgie said he was awesome. No doubt about that. He was. My favorite Elvis, though, is Chunky Elvis. I'm not talking about Year He Died Elvis, but I am talking about Kentucky Rain Elvis, Viva Las Vegas Elvis. He was getting chunkier then. I call him Karate Elvis, too. Karate Elvis. That is Elvis. He's stylish, man. He's in jumpers he's wearing, the big high thing. Justin Thornton says, fact check. True. See, Justin knows. What's up, man? Dude, you were rocking the trumpet tonight.
Yes, he did.
Man,
Great.
That is some of the best trumpet playing I've ever heard. I was at your recital, man. And I want to go back to your professors and go, okay, listen, because that recital was awesome. But I think you played better tonight than it was just smooth.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. And the dynamics were amazing. You did a great job. Everybody did well. I just wanted to brag and say how great you were. George Foreman says, or Violet, Mom says, Elvis was God-given. And then Junior Foreman says, Bigfoot, world champion at hide and seek. He is indeed, Junior. He is indeed. I mean, you got to be good at something, and that is Bigfoot. Walt Thomas says, Bill is a short Bigfoot. I think I'm just short. I think I'm just short. I think I'm just short. Yeah. Yeah, here's the thing. Talk about self-esteem. My mother and dad, both of them were so amazing at giving a sense of security and self-esteem. They were. Why else would somebody that looks like me be on YouTube? There you go. I didn't even know I was short until about 10 years ago. True story. You and I have talked about that. I had no idea. I played football for 12 years against giants. I used to get my bell rung too. And I would think, well, they can just hit good. Not, you're a shrimp. That's why it hurts. You're a shrimp. I played college football at Union. I did. Listen, I was more of a tackling dummy, but still, it didn't occur to me till I was like 32 or 33. You're kind of short because I had great self-esteem, or I was deluded. One or the other. I'm going to go with a high self-esteem. Brian Entertainment says he has a camo hat, though. Nobody will see. Nobody can see my head right now. This is what I use. It looks like green and black hair. Junior Foreman. I want to know more about the name Junior, how you came up with the YouTube name Junior Foreman. If Foreman is your last name, or it is a salute to George, my favorite boxer ever. George Foreman is my favorite boxer. That's why I'm asking. Obviously, Mike Tyson is kind of everybody's like, wow. Even if you think he's a villain, he was just amazing. But I think it was George Foreman's story. He loses in that battle to Ali, and it was kind of a sad moment, and he didn't recapture the fire. He comes back, 10, 12 years later, and just starts this remarkable run that you almost think it's not going to work out. I mean, he won a lot of money knocking people out in his comeback, but you would never imagine that he's actually, because he had some good boxers whip him pretty bad. And then he gets in the ring. He gets in the ring with Michael Moore and knocks Michael out in the last round, or 10th round, I think it was. And of course, Mom's saying, okay, back to Elvis. See? Elvis was not a boxer. He was in karate. And I don't know if he believed in Bigfoot or not. Reggie said, but why would you name all your boys George? And that's why I'm asking if Junior Foreman, if it's a salute to George Foreman. He named all of his sons George. He had George the first, George the second. I don't know how they numbered them, if they numbered them. Gary Millwood says Cassius Clay. I know, Muhammad, and I'm going to say something that if you are a true boxing fan watching this now or in rerun, you're going to think I'm just crazy. But when I think of Muhammad Ali, I do not think, I know this is crazy, greatest boxer that ever lived. I am not impressed with Muhammad Ali. There, I said it. Cassius Clay, his mama called him Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, whatever. I've never been impressed with him. He talked. He was flamboyant. He was charismatic. I'm not saying he's not a likable fellow. I'm just saying I've never been that impressed with Muhammad Ali. Without Elvis, there would be no Beatles. Well, that's very true. I just watched Elvis say that the other day, or John Lennon say that on an interview recently. And Muhammad Ali, yes, loved Elvis. I get it. But I'm still not that. I'm impressed with Elvis. But again, he didn't write his songs. We talked about that. He didn't write his songs. And not only did he not write his songs, I think he got some lip service on a few songs. Like he was added as sort of a favor to make it look like he writes a little. He was great at shooting from the hip kind of arrangements, but he didn't read music or anything like that, which is fine. Neither did Paul and John. But Paul and John were musicians. They were songwriters. And they played rock and roll. So I get it. Elvis is the man, but come on. It's a different thing. It's apples and oranges too. Muhammad loved Elvis. And then, in fact, Gary Millwood says, I liked him never. I don't know which one, Gary, Elvis or Muhammad Ali. Mom says, I want me to quit. Nah, you're fine. You're fine. Keep on going. He didn't need to write or read music. Yeah, Elvis did need to read. He needed to do something because obviously he had way too much time on his hands. Baker is in the house. Good to see you tonight, Baker. Elvis said there was one king, King Jesus. Come on. And Elvis is the man. I got a buddy of mine, and every time we talk about Elvis, he's like, Elvis is in heaven. It's like, it's a running joke, I think, but like he will not negotiate Elvis's afterlife. I'm not saying it's going to go. I don't put people in heaven or hell. That's God's job. But what I'm saying is he's like, no, there's no way Elvis can. He's Elvis. Of course he's in heaven. I don't know. He's just being silly. Oh, Ali. Yeah, I don't like him, Gary. What's up with that? He doesn't, I guess maybe he rubs me wrong. It's the arrogance. I don't know. When I get it, the Thrilla in Manila, I get it. George Foreman, he gassed Foreman and then came back and beat him. I'm that guy that still wishes Foreman would have knocked him out. I'm just saying. Bringy, oops. In the time he was a Dodge driver and left the country and came back, Ali. I remember those days. Maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know. I understand he was, what did Ali say? He said, "What did the Viet Cong ever do to me?" or something like that, and he was considered heroic for that. I'm not saying it is or isn't. I mean, he took a stand on something he believed in, and all that. So I won't point my finger at him for that. I just didn't like his boxing. I think there are better boxers. I think Mike Tyson, who loved Ali, he worships Ali to this day when he's interviewed. I think Mike Tyson could have killed him. Junior Foreman says, true last name. When I got my permanent duty station in 78, whoop, thanks for service. The motor pool sergeant nicknamed me George, and it stuck for 4 years I served. A white man had a blast with the nickname. I think it's great. Junior Foreman. I love it. That's awesome. You got to love nicknames. Nicknames will stay with you for a long time. I had a nickname in junior high school. I don't know if I've ever told you this. Because I had gone to school in Michigan, believe it or not, when my dad pastored up there. I was homeschooled for most of my childhood, but in those 2 years I went to public school. But I didn't have a Southern accent. I know that's hard for you to believe, but I did not, I've told you that part before. I didn't have a Southern accent till I moved to Tennessee. And after I'd been there forever and a day, and then went to Southeast Kentucky and lived for, I think, 10 years or something, that's when the bottom jaw just fell out and I became, mountain redneck in my speak and have to constantly work on that. But I still sounded like a Northerner, a Midwesterner, don't you know? You're going to the pool hall. You're going to the car lot. No, I'm just kidding. I went to Boston just a minute there. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, but they called me Yankee in junior high school. That was my Yankee. Yankee this, Yankee that, because I sounded like a Midwesterner. But it didn't last long because I purposefully changed my accent because I didn't want that nickname. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yuck. Yeah, the rhyming thing, the rhyming thing. What are we doing here? What are we doing? I didn't get it. Just sitting around making up rhyme. It's not really rap. It's just kind of rhyme. It's sort of like Dr. Seuss meets athletes. I don't know. I didn't get it. Maybe some of you get it, and you're having to hold back because you want to defend Cassius Clay, who later became Muhammad Ali. I guess I'm just being honest. You don't want to ever say that on a YouTube video where they're talking about how great Muhammad Ali is. Get in the comment section and go, I think Muhammad Ali is terrible. I don't know how you guys comment on other channels. I know you guys are always so awesome on our channel. You the best comments in the world. But you see these people, you know what I'm saying here? They'll go to a channel and they have to put their opinion in if it's counter to whatever the main thesis of a video is about. We don't have that happen on ours a lot of times, but I mean, something like that where, it's a video about how great Muhammad Ali is, but you got those people that'll go in and go, I think he was terrible. It's like, okay, why did you say anything? This is like how great he is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I think I used to do stuff like that, like years when YouTube first came out. But I guess I learned there are really people behind, the computer or whatever. And it's not like I'm putting their video down, so I quit saying that. Variety says, yes, lots of people on YouTube are jerks. Yeah. There's some crazy stuff. I'll get back to that in just a minute. Baker says Ali was a showman as well as a boxer and entertainer. That is something I will agree with you on. I think he's a fantastic entertainer. And I think he understood what Tyson Fury understands now. See, this is where there's a hole in my logic about being anti-Ali. Because as far as power is concerned, Tyson Fury is one of my favorite all-time fighters. Tyson Fury, named after Mike Tyson. Big, tall guy. And if you keep up with boxing, he knocked out Deontay Wilder like twice, and then he lost him in a decision the first time, but it was a bad decision. Anyway, long story short is Tyson Fury, if you're going to compare a boxer to Muhammad Ali, you would want to compare somebody like Tyson Fury because the guy can box. He can dance. And so I respect Tyson. I don't know why I don't respect Muhammad Ali the way other people do. I'm crazy. I get it. Now, back to the crazy, mean people on YouTube or lots of people on YouTube, are jerks. Back in the day, I got into a little bit of this last year, but I was a little scared of getting demonetized. I'm not as scared of that now, but I was worried about saying this. But back in the day when YouTube was what I call the great YouTube, 2010 through, I don't know, circa 2015, 16. Conspiracy theories were normal. Like that was what people, it was like going Friday night to the movies. It was replacing TV so fast because conspiracy theories are fun. Because we talked about that last night. It's like entertainment. I mean, and Hollywood is so dull right now. Everything's so politically correct. They hit you over the head with their politics. I mean, they're not even subtle. A good plot with some subtle political undertones. Hollywood's always done that. These are just they're bullet points as opposed to even being a clever plot or anything. Nobody deconstructs the political push either and reevaluates it in front of you as far as it being a part of the story. So Hollywood's been terrible for a few years now. It's kind of like The Force Awakens. Remember that one? Force Awakens was okay. The Last Jedi, that's the one that's just, it's awful. So you go back to YouTube, though, and you wonder why our movies are so bad, and then maybe they've always been that bad, but YouTube became very entertainment, not because of short, fat, bald people like me that wear camouflage Union College hats. No, it became interesting because of conspiracy videos, and, I mean, everything from, secret bases on the moon, secret space program, interdimensional beings. It was like Hollywood was back, but it was an average person with some editing software making stuff that was fun. And then, of course, the election in 2016 ended all that because in the comments, going back to your original comment about YouTube people being jerks, is that in the comment section of these videos is where I saw the problem with the videos, is because it seemed that there was about a 20% in the comments. Again, talking about comments on these videos, about 10 to 15, 20% seem to be gross comments. And I don't mean gross like, bathroom humor. I'm talking about racist, nasty, just stuff like that. And I noticed that in 2014. I went, this is weird. Or even if you had somebody that took their own conspiracy junk seriously, like they'd get on there, you know who I'm talking about. Big guy with a loud mouth. He's banned right now. You know who I'm talking about. Even if because he was serious, he believes in all this. He's been right about a few things too. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not a big enough YouTuber to say I'll, have him on if I want to, or talk to him if I want to. But in the comment section, you would see people making mean comments towards, entire groups of people. And that bothered me because I didn't understand it. And looking back now, I think, I don't know, it could, that in itself could be a conspiracy. Let's hear your opinion on that. Do you still watch conspiracy videos? They're hard to find now. You won't get a lot of them recommended to you. Edward TV, I mentioned that the other night. This guy's crazy, man. He's younger than I am, but not by much. And it's his voice. He sounds like a young adult, enthusiastic. He's an African-American kid. I call him a kid, but I don't know how old he is. But he's articulate. And, I mean, just brilliant when he's talking. And he's out there on all the stuff. And he does biblical themes and he does spaceship stuff and Bigfoot. He does all that stuff. And he starts his video all at the same. He's got the same kind of theme music. I get him recommended to me, which is odd, because I've not watched a billion of his videos. But you don't get crazy stuff like NASA secretly launches 5 people to Mars and nobody knows. You don't get videos like that anymore. Reggie says, speaking of YouTube channels, I saw a video on one the other day with comments I didn't agree with and told them so. See, Bren is guilty right here. I was called and reported him and blocked his comments to me. Yeah, there's no reason, it's smarter not to comment, Violet Johnson says blocking words. I don't know what that means. Who's blocking words? I don't get that one. Do you get blocking words? I don't know. Brengie says, I told him I'm assuming it begins with A and ends. And right. Well, I'm assuming it's ace. That Bren's an ace. She's an ace. She's number 1. And he didn't deserve the channel. Then I reported him and blocked him. You go, girl. Get him. Riley Johnson says, I simply don't watch that anymore. Which part? I'm telling I miss good old-fashioned conspiracy videos. But now these days, watching the news is like watching a conspiracy video. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just saying. It's like this. When I read my demographics, and because you get in, I wonder, can Bill, a little channel like me, get in trouble for stirring it just a little bit? Probably. But I got to just say, watching news channels today feels a little bit like watching conspiracy videos. Just a little. I mean, maybe that's why there are no conspiracy videos anymore, because the news that satisfies our need for fear, exaggeration. I'm asking for a friend. Carolyn, I'm just asking for a friend here. That maybe the new conspiracy videos, like, I don't know, let me pick a news station. Let me not be biased. I want to pick a news conglomerate, like off the top of my head. MSNBC. Maybe MSNBC, that's the modern conspiracy channel. I mean, they did a great thing for several years on Russiagate. I don't know. I'm asking for a friend. Variety entertainment. I mean, you're not wrong on the news feeling like a conspiracy sometimes. See, I'm not wrong. Other people think it could be. They're just getting clicks and views, man. Like any other YouTuber, MSNBC, CNN, they're trying to get views and clicks, and they're bigger, so they made it to where other people can't make conspiracy videos that were very popular that no one believed. Like, no one in my group of friends anywhere who also watched these videos too, no one really thought we were putting dogs on the moon with human faces. Not anymore. I mean, maybe used to. No, I'm kidding. Nobody believed those crazy conspiracies that there were secret moon bases or whatever. Nobody believed it. And even if it were remotely true, you didn't care. You'd be like, oh, well, I guess they do. But the validity that they've added to the craziness of the conspiracy videos is, first of all, that they're gone. But the other part of it is, well, we have new conspiracies. Violet Johnson says, media, news, evil. Fake news. Brent G says, Miss Violet, you watch the second best channel on YouTube, hands down. Variety Entertainment says, 5 minutes of news be like 30 seconds of facts. It'd be like 30 seconds of facts and 4:30 of what we think. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not sure about 30 seconds. I'm not sure. And listen, it doesn't matter which one you watch. It doesn't matter. I give up on that. I've given up on that because, like, right when you think maybe Fox, they're heroes. They're going to, and Fox will get it right. They will go off on this tangent for 3 days about something that doesn't matter, but they're convinced that it does. I get a lot of news on YouTube. That's the God's honest truth, and I hate this. Tim, IRL, and I don't know these people. Timcast. That's another one. Google that and post a link to Timcast. If you don't care.
What am I Googling?
Well, you go to YouTube, Google, and never mind. We'll post it later. But it's Timcast or Timcast IRL, something like that. But young guy, young journalist decided to break away from journalism because he saw it was rigged. He used to be a diehard liberal, and now he's a diehard conservative. He according to, I'm not trying to be political. Yeah, a little bit. Tim he breaks stories, and he's commentary. You're going to get commentary with him too, but I think he's a little more objective about things. Even if whatever you believe about the virus, the vaccination, any of that stuff, Tim's just a little more objective. He's not really a Republican. He's more of a libertarian. Libertarian's a buzzword now. Everybody's using that word. I'm a libertarian. Man, you need to look into that stuff before you get into being a libertarian. They're kind of nuts. If you're a libertarian in here, talk about it. Tell me why I should be a libertarian. Baker said, I agree with, or Brent G agrees with Baker in that the media news should be held accountable for its lies and misleading information. The apparatus for that is difficult. It really is. In other words, the instrument in place to hold the media accountable. Used to, if Congress, if the Senate hauled people in and held a hearing about something, that used to make people shake. Oh my gosh, Congress, the Senate has called you. Ooh. And that used to be a thing. And now nobody cares if Congress calls you in. Nobody really cares. People are like, I don't have to talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you because, and it's funny. So I don't know of the instrument there that would hold them. In other words, what you can just about say what you want to say Those kids that went to Washington when the news lied about them, they got a pretty penny out of it. But I mean, they were represented well. The whole country came and was paying their legal fees and everything else. They had an uphill battle, but they won. But you never heard corrections. You never heard anything like that. And the same goes with the other. I want to say this. It's not just one side. You know, everybody's guilty in the age we're living in right now of throwing conspiracies out. They really are. I just missed the ones on YouTube. They were better. They weren't as scary as some of these crazy CNN conspiracies. They weren't as nuts, but at least they were more entertaining. You know, they were more entertaining. I would rather talk about Amazon women on the moon than to talk about, that used to be that was somebody's comedy bit, Amazon women on the moon. I can't remember who it was. Robert Townsend, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I don't think I think modern conspiracy theories they just don't have the public confidence that mainstream news has when it comes to pushing and peddling conspiracies. One thing that isn't a conspiracy, though, and again, I'm just going, it's Sunday night. That's why I can't turn the serious off. I just can't. So now I'm talking about serious things in the world, and my channel is not about serious things. So everybody's like, what's he doing? He's having a breakdown. One thing that is serious is China, and that has me concerned. And it seems like nobody else is worried about China. And it's like, I want to go, am I the only? And it's like, it's not a Trump thing where, China. It's not that. It's not that I even thought tariffs worked. I think it was something he did to try to do something. But guys, we're in some serious trouble. We don't make anything here at all. And they're serious. They want the world. And I don't understand. I mean, I think what bothers me isn't that they want the world. Of course they do. There's a lot of Chinese people, and good people, mind you. Some of them very good. There's 250 million Christians. I have nothing against the Chinese people at all. Smart, intelligent, beautiful people. Nothing against them. Some of the best people I know are Chinese. Okay, here's some full disclosure. I don't know any Chinese people. But if I did, I'm sure they're wonderful people. The point I'm trying to make is, if there is one at all, is that I'm concerned that corporations like the NBA they're bending over backwards. Our movies, Hollywood, they're bending over backwards to get into the Chinese market and to stay into the Chinese market, and they're letting the Chinese market dictate terms, which means philosophically, politically, and everything else, our entertainment is heavily influenced now by the Chinese. In fact, this video could get banned just because of what I'm saying, or demonetized. And I'll let you know if that happens, I promise you. Because if they want to turn me into a political commentator quick, ban one of my videos. For 5 years, I have made the cheesiest, the most loving videos. Wouldn't you agree, Carolyn, that we've made loving videos? I mean, you can feel warmth in my videos. Even when I get down, I watch my video because I instantly feel better. Is that laying it on too thick? Probably. Variety says, I try not to pay too much attention to political parties. These stereotypes associated with each side aren't true of most people. True. That's very true. And it's just so stupid how most people approach these things. There's no real discourse. But let me say, there is discourse, but it's not healthy discourse. There's no conversation. That's the problem. Everybody has doubled down on their opinion. That's why you're getting all these rumors about, could a civil war break out and all these different things. And that's a funny conversation. We need to have that conversation sometime this week. That'd be fun. Gary Millwood said, is your blood sugar up? I've got to ask you why you're asking. I've got to ask you why you're asking. And I'll tell you the truth. Bringy said, everybody's quiet right now. That's because Bill went on a China rant, so they're scared. Baker says, how would you say that? Chinarica? That's good. Mom says, I'm learning Mandarin. Don't blame you. Work on it. I know you watch my videos, Mom. You're always making those mean comments. No, I'm kidding. Junior Foreman, Variety Entertainment, you're correct. Both sides are guilty of distorting the truth. That's exactly right. Juan Thomas says, I do know. I bet you do know. I bet you know a lot of Chinese people because you've already infiltrated China. CIA, man. No, I'm kidding. Oh, wow, Juan, you lived there for 3 years and most of them are nice. It's the government. Juan, we want to hear more about your time in China. Come on, spill out some information. That's amazing stuff. Variety Entertainment says, remember when YouTube was demonetizing people for saying the word coronavirus? Yeah. Well, I just did. So if they demonetize it, that's fine. DJ is in the house. Always good to see DJ. I haven't talked to you since last year. Merry Christmas and welcome.
Hey,
DJ,
long time no see.
I know. I'm telling you, Carolyn's like, long time no see. Hey, listen, we're talking about crazy political stuff. I don't know how it got here. I don't know. It just started, and now I can't stop, DJ. But welcome. DJ has been with our channel for so long, like since 1912. It's been a long time. Violet Johnson says, no comments under this ID. No, you're always using a different name. Gary Millwood says, red face and getting excited, Bill. That's why I asked. I thought it was the dry mouth. Seriously. Because my mouth was getting dry. Like, yeah, but blood sugar's probably. At the end of the day on Sunday, yeah, you have to understand, the blood sugar thing with me, I had to learn this, is that, because I always assumed my blood sugar was dropping if I didn't eat. And actually what's happening with me, because my doctor told me to test continually, what's actually happening is my sugar is getting high. And I tend not to eat much until late Sunday night. It's a horrible habit. I don't eat at all. I had a bacon sandwich this morning. Carol made bacon. And that's it. And that was at like 7 o'clock. DJ said, I was here a few months ago. I moderate for 7 channels. Oh my goodness. I hope they pay you, DJ. Because that's a busy, moderating is a busy job. And I think we talked last year, if you wanted to moderate for us, we could use it. Because Carolyn sometimes has stuff to do, but during Vlogmas, she has to stick around and do this kind of stuff. What I would love to do, changing gears from China, because I'm sure I'm already in trouble. But what I would love to do is have a telescope thing where I can actually put stars and stuff through the computer, to talk about stars and stuff, planets and all that stuff. But I mean, a lot of people do that. It's like that market is, and there are people that are really awesome at it. I can't remember. There's a channel that, man, it doesn't matter when you go over there. And I wonder how much money they're making. There'll be a million people watching at any time. And they're just filming the moon and there's music on it, but it's live. And they're just got a telescope and somehow there's something running through the telescope. That'd be awesome. I want to be able to switch cameras on this. And I know there's software for it. But I've tried it and it's awful. I'm supposed to meet up with Tommy at the Kilted Adventurer. We're supposed to have a video chat this next week, probably tomorrow, and work out to where we can do this simultaneously and entertain you all with our tremendous wit. And he's actually a very brilliant man. I don't think he's in here tonight, so let me talk bad about it. No, he's actually one of the smartest people I think I've ever met in my life. He's brilliant. DJ says, you can make me a moderator. I'll attend when I can. Most of my YouTubers have a phone number, so they'll let me know when they're going live. DJ, we need to talk through Facebook, dude. We need to make this happen because I need help. Help! That would be awesome. Did I miss one? Yeah, the Chinese kids. Juan's talking about his time in China. He spent 3 years there, or 4. I can't remember. It's 3 or 4 years there. The Chinese kids are sweet and learn fast. The parents push the kids to be smart and get ahead. People are very hard workers and go-getters, which makes sense. That's most of the world. I mean, if you think about it, most of the world, I would say all the world under the right circumstances. You have to understand there's political situations. Carol and I went to Nicaragua. I went 2 years in a row. She went with me the second year for a mission trip. And these are the greatest people on the planet. Hardest working people. They're amazing. Sweetest people on the planet. And I'm not talking about, you're just a tourist. We weren't in the touristy areas. Man, sometimes we were out in the bush. I call it the bush, but, we were in some, struggling areas, but it didn't matter. They were working with what they had, and they had nothing, but they were just very, very friendly and very sweet. Now, I would say that wherever you go, you're going to find people like you. You got your hardworking people. You got people that are lazy, don't want to do anything, try to get out of work, and then you have your people who have YouTube videos that are conspiracies. It happens. By the way, did I tell you about this, Carolyn, the Russian guy? Listen to this. This guy from Russia, I talked about him last night. Very nice guy. He posted this comment on, I think, Vlogmas 2.
Oh yeah.
This night and it was all in Russia. And I've been a little brainwashed by the media too. If you see a Russian thing on YouTube, you're like, oh, they're gonna come get me, and it's conspiracy. It's in the back of your head, and I can't read Russian. Okay, and this is what he said, and it's really weird. I almost made a separate video talking about this because it floored me. There has to be something missing in the translation. I tried to Google translate what he had said, and I was getting there, but then I got bored with it because I had something else to do. So I stopped, but it was sounding good already. So I just added this. I put, can you translate? I have no idea what you just said. And if you can go back to that video and find it in the comments, not in the chat, but down in the comments, it's Vlogmas 2 for this year.
Yeah.
And he said, congratulations on much success. After he translated it, and he said all these other fine things, and said, some of the information in your videos are being used in text. Now, that's a compliment. I was blown away by that. So I'm in a textbook somewhere. And then I thought, wait a minute. If my videos are, and there has to be a translation issue here. There has to be a translation issue, okay? Because if I'm in somebody's textbook somewhere, that's called plagiarism. Yeah. So I'm like, I get it. Look, I've got qualifications to make.
You did say not too long ago to me that you did notice at some point some of your viewers had to do with a professor sending his students.
It was a teacher. He didn't say professor. He's a teacher. Gotcha. We've had over the past couple of years over 100 comments of people saying my teacher sent me here. My teacher and from people, mostly Americans, but sometimes from other countries. And I'm like, why? Now listen, I got some credentials. I got some paperwork that says I know a thing or two. So, and the stuff we talk about on our videos, especially when we're out in the bush somewhere and we're talking about the geology and the mountains and all this stuff. Hey man, that's factual information. There's no fake news here. The live stream's different. The live stream is different, but it just blew my mind. So I'm like, there's got to be a problem in the translation of what he means by text. I don't know. So I wanted to call Rachel Maddow.
Oh my gosh.
Because she knows all about Russians and them doing stuff. But whoever this guy is, if you're in here tonight, because he never comments in the chat, but he did comment in the comments. Thank you. And I would love a copy of that textbook, and I won't sue anybody. I'll just be honored and I hope my face is that'd be cool. Your face is like, it'd be kind of nice. So we're here, and Variety Entertainment says, I use OBS for live streams usually, but it's confusing in actual. Yes, Variety. I have tried to use OSB. The stream is always terrible.
OBS.
I meant OBS. Yeah. I reversed it.
OBS
So, and I use it because it's free. So
we were told, who was it? I think one of the tech guys at Best Buy, if I'm not mistaken, had actually told me that OBS and Mac don't communicate.
They don't communicate well.
Or Apple products, I should say.
Because Apple is kind of snobbish, but I'm glad it is. And I won't get into that because that'll really start a fight. I'm a fanboy. I'm a Mac fanboy. I am. I admit I was later in life, but
I love my Mac.
I don't want any more window crunching. No more window crunching. DJI says, time, vacation station, TV, Fridays forever. Joshy and Stacy, Crisco, and Elisha. Yeah, I'm busy a lot, but I am not paid. LOL. You shouldn't have told me that. She's been like, no, man, they give me like $25 an hour. I don't know. Then of course I would have been like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I'm just playing. I'm glad to see you again, man. It's good, always good to see you. Somebody that's been with you a long time watching your videos. It's special. It's and most of you in here that applies to right now. It's special because you guys have seen the channel evolve. We get a lot of people. Here's what's funny. You guys are almost all subscribers to the best of my memory of who's in here right now. Only 7 to 12% of the people that watch our videos are subscribed. That blows my mind. It's like 94%. It just comes up on the recommended page. They push the button. The average watch time on my videos is this is good too, about 6.5 to 7 minutes. Not bad. I mean, especially for a YouTube video, I think the average right now is 4.5 minutes. And so that's how we've made money on YouTube, not from volume, but from time. And yet 90-something%, they don't hit the like button or don't hit the subscribe button. I don't understand it. At least that's what YouTube says. I mean, what are you going to do? Here it is. It says, I just looked up. I see it. Strange comment. Variety Entertainment says, Russian dude. I wasn't here last time. Here we go. Are you the Russian dude? Because if you're the Russian dude, I need help with this. Am I in a textbook somewhere in Moscow? We had a young lady tonight at the church, Carol, and I don't know if you met her or not, but she is from Moscow.
Sadly, I didn't get to meet her.
Lovely young lady, and she was very sweet, and her English was better than mine, which it doesn't say much, but her English was phenomenal. And we were in time. It's like, oh, come back to church. But she was a visitor. Good to have her. She came with a few friends that go to our church. Carolyn says, okay, so don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, everybody. Click the bell for notifications. Man, you have to tell people to do 75 things now on YouTube videos. I know it annoys you guys. I understand that. Like, click the bell, turn around, do the hokey pokey, jog in place, whatever. Variety Entertainment says, it works on my MacBook. It works. It just doesn't work well. It's glitchy. I have a lot of fallout. It drops. I have a lot of drops. It's when I'm using it. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I may try it again. I know that I like the idea that you can plan out and schedule a live stream, and it works differently, and they actually gets out to the community better. I like that. Baker says, Rachel Maddow acts like an angry boy. No offense to angry boys. Yep, I said it. Listen, man, you shouldn't get in trouble on YouTube for telling the truth. And I don't believe in fake news. And what you just said is not fake news. It is true. You could also describe her as looking like a very angry mother who doesn't really want to be a mother, telling you to pick up your shoes.
I wouldn't want her as my mom.
I'm just saying. Full disclosure, when Rachel Maddow was starting out on the old MSNBC, I actually liked Rachel. I think me and you've talked about this.
We did.
She was a lot more objective. She was not who she is now. She was a different person. But I would watch her occasionally. I watch her show occasionally, but not now. I mean, now the Russiagate thing is. I was like, oh God, stop, please! You're embarrassing yourself.
Yep.
But people, it was selling. I'm telling you, new conspiracy videos are the news. And that's just how that works. And again, we've already said it. They're not the only ones. All of them are guilty. However, my favorite news person, and Carol will tell you, I call her my sweetheart, was Megyn Kelly. And Megyn Kelly, I don't know why she took a deal at MSNBC. Yes, I know what she said, but dumb. Who in their right mind was going to follow her to NBC? And I know that's probably what NBC was thinking, but I don't think NBC understands how polar everything is right now, how biased everybody is. Nobody's going to follow Megyn. I mean, I tried to turn over there one time for a little talk show, and I went, this isn't Megyn Kelly. But I liked her. She was hard-hitting journalism for a moment. Matter of fact, Carolyn, you and I used to sit and watch Megyn Kelly for an hour. Yep. We would sit. Well, Carolyn loved her to death. Gary says, I wouldn't miss Vlogmas. It helps me stay sane. You know what? I said it last year, but I failed. And so I don't want to make a promise that I can't keep, because I did do that last year. The goal for 2021 was to go live more. That was the goal. I was going to take a few weeks off in January and just make regular videos, and then come back and kind of do this where we make videos, but I spend an hour a day at various times just jumping on here and doing live. That was the plan. I remember what got me sidetracked to where we couldn't, and we never did recapture that. Because once you have this going, it's easier to maintain, especially when you get good software, variety entertainment, OBS. Is it OBS or OSB? OSB.
I'm sorry, OBS.
OBS.
You're messing me up. I'm tired.
I'm trying to think of, because it's like some of that software, it's like $25 a month, if you instead of the freebie. And so you have to think, how much am I going to make from the live chats to justify? Because I already subscribed to TubeBuddy. That's like $10 a month or something, 12. And then a music thing, which is another 10. So I'm already out about $25 a month in third-party stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful, because that eats into any profit that you're going to make from the videos. But it may end up being worth it. I mean, some of you guys are in here because, hey, it's Vlogmas. It's different. You're seeing the normal bill, sort of, as much as I can be normal here, right? Because I'm the only one talking. Carol and I are the only ones talking. And you guys are writing things down. It's a different thing. But, most of the time you're seeing me in the videos. I'm sincere in the videos, but there's editing. It's a lot cleaner. And so, but would it still work if it goes past Vlogmas and into the year? I don't know. Last year it worked very well. We've got decent numbers right now. Not bad. Brent G says OSB is a type of plywood. I knew there was an OSB. It's what you. Yeah, because your mom said OSB board. Yeah, OSB board. Exactly. That'll help me, Variety. OBS, Open Broadcast Software. Thank you. That'll help me. So, Variety, are you telling me are you using the paid version or the free version? If you're saying you're using the paid version, that'll probably make a lot more sense. And Gary says, normal? I'm assuming that you're talking about my behavior in my normal videos. Well, kind of. If you get bored and you're on YouTube, go to my 2019 videos and go through those, because from 2018 to 2019 is when I started experimenting a lot to learn. Now, we spun off another channel called Breathe. Let's talk about Breathe for a minute. Breathe is a colossal failure. Let's just say it. It's a colossal failure. But what I'm turning Breathe into is an experimental channel where I just put whatever I want on there to see what it's like. How is this going to work? And and try to learn new things. So, yeah, there you are. check Breathe out though. Okay. It's hard to Google Breathe though. I need to put a link in there. If you find a link, it's hard to find a link to Breathe because we only have 56 subscribers. We need more subscribers on the channel. That would motivate me to work on that channel more, but it's very difficult because I think every video gets about 12 views. Variety Entertainment says, I'm in no way Russian. Sorry. I wish I knew some Russian. I need to learn some Russian. It's a beautiful language, kind of, sort of. Maybe not. Go Megan Kelly. DJ says, I have kids also that keep me really busy being a single dad too. Hey, I've been there in the single dad thing. I'd help. Mom helped a lot, but I was a single dad for 5 years until I met the love of my life, who then helped raise my kids. And we are now one family, blended family, but still a family nonetheless. So there is life after singleness. I enjoyed being a single dad. Again, I had help though. You have to keep them. I had great help, but I enjoyed being a single dad. But I talked to my mom about this over Thanksgiving. There is kind of a burden sometimes with it as far as you're lonely, and you can't. I remember we went to Mom and Dennis took us, me and the kids, I think Disney World or something. And, it's just you and the kids, and it's lonely without, a companion there. So, but it's not necessarily a bad thing either. So it's a mixed bag like anything else, but I've been there, just to say that I have been there. Violet says OSB. Okay, that's where we were at. Sorry. Junior Foreman says, oh, I'm calling BS. Now you won't forget. Okay, there it is. That's how I don't forget. There you go. Variety Entertainment says, what software do you use to edit out of curiosity? Oh, man, now you're trying to hurt my feelings. Now, Variety, I want to know, okay, are you serious out of curiosity or do you already know? And you're just trying to, because when you're editing videos, there's a little bit of arrogance into what you're using amongst YouTubers. And there's things I want to do that I can't do, but tell me this, is there any other reason why you're asking? And I'll tell you, I'm just curious. Bren, you know what? Bren does love Breathe. And so if you follow her recommendation, she loves nature. Bren, one of the most faithful subscribers. And again, Mom loves Breathe. It's a different kind of thing. Every video is very different. Sometimes we just shoot nature, which is how that channel started. But that got no traction at all. There are a lot of channels that do that. I don't know. Maybe YouTube isn't rewarding that in the algorithm. I'm not sure. But Breathe is also, I've also talked about life. The last video I did for Breathe, I really enjoyed it because it was these waterfalls. But then I told everybody at the beginning of the video to stick around because at the last part of the video, I was going to explain why I edited the way I edited, and basically played the same video again. I really enjoyed that. That was fun. Trying to find where I am in the comments here. Variety Entertainment says, I have the free version. I didn't know there was a paid version. Maybe there isn't. I know there is for some. I can't remember. I haven't used it. I haven't paid for any software for YouTube. Still using iMovie to edit. Okay. Me too. And so I edit, but I've learned how to do some things in iMovie, and I love sharing it. We actually something I do on the side that y'all don't know about, and I need y'all in on this. I think next time I do this, I'm going to go live with the person the next time I have one of these, because I do have what you'd call micro success on YouTube. In other words, I make a little bit of money. We average, I don't remember how many views a year and how much watch time. I don't remember the analytics. I think you guys can all probably look that up. But a lot of my friends or people that I meet that are interested in going to YouTube, I give them access to everything that I do, and just sit down with them and anything that they want to know. I sit down and tell them and give them shortcuts that I wish I would have known when I started that may have helped. And it seems to be helping Toby at Kilted Adventure. And Chris Sakai, he's been wonderful. Again, that's a great channel to check out, by the way. Chris Sakai's channel, great Christian podcaster. But that's something I do on the side, and we have a wonderful time. But I'm always embarrassed to say, yeah, I'm still using iMovie. I'm always embarrassed to say that because iMovie is so gimmicky. But there are tricks that you can use in iMovie and get some of the same production that you get with Finale and some of the other software. Things like green. I didn't even understand how green screen worked. And I kept fooling around with it, and all of a sudden I realized, hey, you can do some pretty cool green screen effects with iMovie. You get into problem when you start pushing big data. We shoot in 4K now most of the time. So when you're shooting in 4K a lot and it's a long video, iMovie is that guy that can't play 4 quarters. Carolyn posted a link there to Breathe. And so, hey, man, if a couple of you guys want to go in there, it'd be great. Just open up another browser, copy that, open up another browser and hit the subscribe button. Watch one of the videos later. I don't know if it's you. Like, it's one of those things. It may not be you. If you watch it long enough, you'll realize there's other stuff going on with the editing. There was one video about waterfalls where I literally cut it to where it's 2 waterfalls, merged them together to make it look like a series of waterfalls. And it was good. I looked at it, I thought, this is good stuff. It looked like an alien planet, man. I mean, it was fun to me. It was entertainment to me. So that's kind of what Breathe is. And then sometimes I just take people on a talking journey. DG says, don't share your earnings from YouTube. It could get you in trouble. Don't discuss it publicly. Why? I mean, seriously, DJ, why? I didn't say how much I made. I just said I'm making money. I don't know why that would get me in trouble. I've got to hear this. I got to hear the tea on this, and I think everybody else wants to know now. So, DJ, you got to tell us. I don't make a killing. There are some years we've done better than others. I'll put it this way. Variety says, iMovie on Mac is actually decent. On iOS, it's really limited. Well, I think it's decent. I mean, it works for me. It works for me. Oh, you said read the terms and conditions. I don't that's silly to me. That's dumb. I don't even know what to say. I don't go into details. I mean, look, we pay our expenses that way. We're able to, I don't know. We're able, I mean, we're, we're talking about gas money, sometimes hotel money. But that's not, y'all know this. That's not an all the time thing. It's most of the time we're doing something else in our profession as a minister. And we try to schedule something YouTube-ish around that event. DJ says, it says it's just the rules. It's just how it is, Bill. That's just the rules of YouTube. YouTube world is weird. The YouTube world is weird. I've had one video. It was the first one I made of Dad that was demonetized. And they said that I glorified drug use and I really didn't, but I lost the appeal. And the reason why is when I was talking about his drug use in Vietnam, I was playing rock and roll music. It was supposed to be sort of cinematic. Like a movie about somebody turning to drugs. So you can imagine the music. So it was like this 60s guitar kind of thing going on, late 60s, like Jimi Hendrix. And they said that scene was a little too graphic. DJ says, as long as you don't go into details, you're fine. Yeah, I'm not going into details. We get paid. We get paid monthly. It's good. It's nice. It's not. We were making YouTubes for a couple of years before we were getting anything. I remember the first time it was the Arizona video that actually pushed us over the edge to get partnered up. You need that one video. I think it's 700,000 views. I don't remember now, maybe 500. I don't remember. And for our channel, that is like, wow. And some of my older videos that I think are just terrible. Lookout Mountain, terrible video. Battle Above the Clouds, I think it is. Some of those have thousands of views now. And I'm like, I was really wanting to take that down, but they're still getting views. It's crazy. YouTube's a crazy world, and I'm always laughing because I'm thinking, how long is this going to last? Because you never know when it's shut down or whatever. DJ says a lot of people think they have free speech. A lot of people think they have free speech on YouTube, but that's not how private companies work. I know. I agree. They can terminate you at any time for any reason as an independent contractor. You are correct. And I don't know. That's another thing where, DJ, there's no instrument in place to fix that, because if we pass any laws that prevent that in any way, then the government is interfering with business, and boy, that would turn the corporate world upside down. And some people are calling for that, but gosh, you got to be careful, because if there's a line there when you get it, into socialism and communism, where you want to go, wait a minute, hold on. So yeah, I guess I'm still kind of pro. When I say pro corporation, I'm also pro person, so I don't want people taking advantage of. But this is their platform. This is YouTube's platform. Do I like their policies? Most of the time, I'm too thankful to complain. I think that's a part of it why I can't really get in the conversation. I'm thinking, wow, I have a platform? That is insane. I don't deserve a platform. I don't deserve anything on the internet that people would actually watch. So when you get something like that, it makes you a little more careful. I mean, even my comments earlier when I was being silly, you look back and go, okay, I probably shouldn't kid around like that. It's serious times right now. But every now and then, what's going to hurt? Variety Entertainment says, but yeah, I'm not spending any money on editing software when my channel isn't monetized. It's just a hobby for me currently. Here's the thing, Variety. Here's the thing. I said that too. I'm not spending any money because we weren't getting paid at all the first couple of years. And we even did some traveling. Remember that? Well, I mean, we went, on our money. And I said, well, I can't get software. But then you get into habits that are bad when it comes to editing. Like, instead of upping your game and being ready for the success, we were not ready for the success that we had. So when we've been behind the 8 ball on that ever since. It's just something to think about. You do what you want to do. Just something I've thought about. DJ says 605,000 views on that. So it was between, I said 700 or 500, and he's like, nope, 605 views. Not bad for our channel. Wow. I think it's hilarious that YouTube removed the dislike counter. The White House was getting too much hate. I seldom hit the dislike button. If you don't like something, I just don't watch it or go to something else. Our videos have the worst ratio that I've ever had was the Cumberland Gap video, and I deserved it. It is a bad video. I wax strong and poetic about nothing. It's a terrible video, but you can look that one up too. 250,000 views. I don't remember. It's made money. I mean, that video, the Arizona video, they make money. So I'm not taking it down. But I mean, I comment when people comment, and they bash it or they talk about this and that. I'll comment back, say, yeah, I make different videos now, blah, blah, blah. But all they've done is help somebody like me, because the ratio on that was likes were I had about, I don't know, maybe you guys can look into this, 2/3 likes, but 1/3 dislike. 1/3, maybe more. It wasn't half, but it's 1/3. And it like hitting the dislike button, which interaction pays either way. So if somebody's interacting with a video, thank you. I hope you watched it a long time. But it is kind of crazy that they took the like button down. I wasn't for that. Still not for that. I think that should be an indicator. I think they talk about bots. They're worried about these bots. Rachel Maddow was talking about it. It's a callback joke. It's from earlier. Rachel Maddow was talking about this years ago, way ahead of her time, about these bots that the Russians. See why I'm worried about being in a Russian textbook? Because Rachel Maddow has told us that they're scary. And those bots get in and hit the dislike button because nobody would dislike things like the White House ever. Nobody would dislike policy. And so, nobody would dislike a movie that is terrible. It never happens. And so you don't want to hurt people's feelings. Well, okay. There's another way of doing it, though. And the other way that people are doing it is they're saying, okay, if a video's been watched 400,000 or 500,000 times, let's say it's a trailer to a movie, and it's been watched 400,000 or 500,000 times, and there's only like 1,000 likes, you can assume the dislike button has been hit a lot. And that's what most people are doing now. That's what most people are talking about. DJ said, your church is also your platform. You are well-deserved of both. DJ, you are just nice. You've always been nice. I'll tell you what, I always call, the church is the most special. The platform there God's given me, and the scariest, because, man, I take this I don't take seriously. That, man, I take that very seriously. And because people's souls, man, I mean, you're responsible for them. I love the Lord and want to and do the work He's called me to do. And understanding that people come from different walks of life. Our church is very diverse. I mean, that was what Carol and I set out to do, is make a church that we minister to all generations and all races, everybody, everybody in the kingdom. That's a kingdom concept. And so that is, I call that the real deal. This is something that helps us. But honestly, this is another platform that is now starting, which leads me to my last point tonight. Some of my church members came up to me today. I didn't tell you about this, Carolyn. And they were the sweetest ladies in the world. They're some of my favorite people because they're always positive. And they hugged me, and then she said, I watched your live stream the other night. And I went, oh, no. I was like, because I don't talk about my YouTube channel at church much. I mean, we drop it on the Facebook page. We'll drop it on, when I'm preaching or something. And that's the real me. I mean, that's not a character, that you're seeing me in real time ministering to people. But she actually sit and watched one of these, and it was kind of like, that. And I was going to give an excuse, and I thought, no, that's me too. And she loved it. She said, this was funny. She goes, I think you've really got something there. I love this woman. She's really sweet, though. This is the first time she even knew I was on YouTube. Very sweet, and love the lady. She's just wonderful. Hey, talk to you later, DJ. Jeff from Vacation Station TV is on. Tell Jeff we said hello. The Arizona video is at 600. Oh, we already got that one. Well, guys, I've been on here an hour, 20 minutes. That's a long time, and it is Sunday night. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. Don't for one second think that I don't love it and love hanging out. And Carolyn is always at the table with me. She's going to be on camera this coming week. We're going to have a lot of people, hopefully, if things work out right and all the schedules work out right, we're going to have a lot of people in and out talking this week, and you guys will see more than just my fat face every night. But I'm very grateful for you guys. Baker says, now that's a serious job, preaching. Thanks, sir. God bless. Well, God bless you too, man. Man, I'm serious. And listen, if you go to Bill Marion Life, you can watch our services. I'm a wild preacher. I'm telling you, I'm crazy. So if you guys can always check that stuff out, we love it. We have people. Mark Sezowich isn't in here tonight. I'm shocked, but Mark isn't in here. Mark goes through seasons where he doesn't miss a service. Bren G says, good night. Love you guys. Hey, Bren, we love you too. And I'm glad you're recovered, but I hope you even get better still. And that goes for all of you. You guys have a fantastic night.